Hello everyone. Today we are going to needle felt your basic sheep. So what you need for this project is some core wool, some nice bright white wool, and then you need some black. So I'm just going to make a small one, but you can make them any size. The technique's still the same. So start with your core wool, and you're going to roll it very tightly, starting from one end of a piece of roving. And as you go, you can tuck in the ends, makes it more dense, and then you can wrap it after you get a shape started. So I'm going to felt this down and establish my shape. You want to make kind of an oval shape. And just felt all over. So that's nice and dense. It squishes just a little bit, but not too much. I'm going to add a little bit more, make it a little bit bigger, and a little bit rounder around the middle. So I'm going to grab the end of the wool onto my oval here and just wrap it around. And then I'm going to felt this down. There we have the body. So next I'm going to make the legs of the sheep. So I'm gonna use the black to make the legs on this one. So it'd be more like a Suffolk type of sheep. But you can also make a white one if you want, totally up to you. So I'm going to take a little bit of wool and I'm going to roll it up into a cylinder shape. You want to start out longer than what it's going to be in the end because it will shrink as you felt it. So make these legs maybe even like twice as long as what you want them to be in the end. It's harder to get the wool wrapped up as tightly when you're working with this small of a piece, unlike the body, but you can take more wool, little pieces, and tightly wrap them around. if your hands will allow. If not, no big deal. You'll just do a little bit more felting and adding some more wool as you go. Okay, so after I have my cylinder shape started, I'm gonna start felting it. I'm just gonna felt the sides at first and get the middle nice and dense. Now I'm going to start felting in the ends. So just be careful of your fingers. You're going to hold it between your fingers, so you just want to felt down very carefully. I do this part really slowly in one deliberate stab at a time. So my leg is a little bit longer than I'd like, but you can cut a little bit off with scissors if it's a little bit too long. That seems to be a little bit better. When we add the white wool around the sheep at the end, it will definitely take up some more of the length of the leg. So if your legs are about the same width as the body, that should work. If you cut the wool on the leg, you probably want to felt it down a little bit again, because now you got all those loose ends. So now I'm going to make 3 more of those. Okay, so I made my 4 legs for the sheep. Now I'm going to attach them. So I'm going to take one of the legs and put it against the sheep where I want it. So this will be one of the front legs near the front. And then take the needle and push it through the leg at an angle and into the body of the sheep. And do this until it's tightly secured. You should be able to tug on it. And the next one, I'm going to put next to it. And do the same thing. And give them a tug, and every leg seems to be on pretty well. And now you should be able to stand it up. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm going to make the head. My head will also be in black. So the head is kind of a rounded triangle shape. I'm going to start rolling my wool up into a ball and felt it to secure. Just be careful you're not stabbing your fingers. When you're working with smaller and smaller pieces, you get closer to your fingers. So that is almost just about right for the size of the head. Probably make it a little bit bigger. And then you can start making your rounded triangle shape. So where the nose is, you want that to be like the point. And then it'll get wider at the back. Or like a teardrop shape. I'm gonna add some more wool on it. Just add a little bit at a time. So that's just about the right size. I'm gonna add a little bit more wool here. I'm going to show you a little trick to help when you're attaching this. So I'm going to leave this tail. It's going to be towards the back of the head. So, but that's, I'm not going to do that for this project. I'm just showing you the basic one. All right. So I'm going to attach the head. It's going to be like near the top of the body in the center on the front. And then this little tail here, I'm going to bunch up at the back, and that'll be just some loose fiber to help me felt it down and connect the head. So we're going to do about the same thing we did with the legs. And you're going to grab the edge of the head and just felt it down into the body all the way around. Just check as you go, make sure you're still in the right spot where you want to be. Sometimes it will move a little, but that's why you keep checking, because then you can, you know, adjust it one way or the other. So I got my head attached, and now I'm going to make ears. So to make the ears, I'm just going to take a little bit of my black and roll it into a little cylinder. And carefully felt it. I'm flipping it over, keep felting each side. And you can also kind of roll it between your fingers to get it a little bit more solid. And I did leave a little tail on this as well to help attach it. So that's about the right size. I'm going to make them longer and droopy, like the suffix. Make another one about that size. Okay, so to attach these to the head, I'm going to lay them on where I want them and felt down at the top of the ear. If you lay it down like that, it's a little bit easier. Then I have that tail to kind of help felt it down. And it should be fairly secure, so you can tug on it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. There, and I have the ears. Okay, so we are almost done. Now we just need to add the nice bright white wool to the outside. For a project like this, you could also even use locks, real small tight curl locks, and it'll make it look more curly and fluffy. And you can do, you know, any color locks too, because sheep come in very many colors. So I got a piece of my white wool, and I'm just going to wrap it around. And do a little bit at a time. And then I'm going to felt it down. Gonna add a little bit more. Make sure to cover up all that core wool. But I want to wrap it all, you know, in the same direction. The only other thing I'm going to add is a little tail. And take a little bit of white and roll it up into a ball. I'm going to put that ball right on the back here where the tail would be, and just felt it down. Felt it down, you know, lightly so you retain some of that ball shape. And there, as a tail. So that is really your basic sheep. And you can do, you know, any color you want. You can use locks instead of just the white wool. You can do a completely white sheep. It's all up to you. So if you have any questions or comments, you can comment on the video below. You can send me an email at mcslivestock@gmail.com. You can message me on Instagram at sheepishly-made or Facebook at sheepishly-made and MCS Livestock. Thanks for watching.